Okay, let me see here. I got some questions and comments and stuff on YouTube. Thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate it. Hospitality. I already read that one. Project managers. My man Larry. Hey Larry, how you doing? Security expert. How you doing, man? Um. Hello, beautiful humans. Got some real positive people here. And okay, somebody asked me or said, hey, I have an A plus, a security plus, and next week I'm testing out for my CIPT from IAP, IAPP, and says, am I missing something? And Ryan comes in and says, he says A plus, Net plus, Security plus, our holy trinity of basic IT certs. Yes, I agree with that. These are my first three certifications. First two actually were A plus, CompTIA A plus, and Network plus were very, very useful to me to know the lingo of IT. And I know some of my peers out there say don't get the A plus certification or whatever. I disagree with that. I humbly disagree with that because if you're brand new to this, if you're coming from another field, like you're a teacher or something, you don't know IT much, you're in your late 30s, IT is not your thing. You weren't born into it like some of these Gen Z people. Or maybe you are Gen Z, you're just not an IT person. Um, it's it's just hard for sometimes it's difficult to there's a learning curve, I should say, not necessarily difficult, but when you first start it's like a foreign language, like people are saying all this jargon that's computer related and you don't understand it. But A plus certification was able to it allowed me to see the landscape. Like after I got and it's not really about the certification itself, it's about the curriculum in there. I think CompTIA does a pretty good job of the curriculum, that they teach all the fundamentals that you really need to know in A plus certification. If you don't know anything, if you're a help desk guy, don't waste your time with A plus. You already know that stuff, right? So don't waste your time with Net plus or A plus. Go straight to Security plus, because Security plus is a little bit harder. You know, it's a little bit harder, and they're expecting you to know some stuff. So entry level career for privacy, yeah. And I would I know you're trying to get your foot in the door. For the first, if you're trying to get your foot in the door, don't be too picky. The first thing you need to do is just get your foot in the door. Like get your foot in the door at a local on-site job. Get in there, even if they're help desks, not necessarily privacy or whatever, but let's say it's help desk or something. Just get your foot in the door. And my man Ryan is giving some great advice. Ryan, by the way, has a great free guide on the CGRC, and great guide on the CGRC. And Ryan, man, if you want to plug your book here, the link to it so people can go check it out. Free resource, great book, great dude. I had him on the show once. And he says, as you grow older in the career, you transition to Security Plus, SYSA, and a CASP, now known as a Security X, to be a CompTIA security analytics expert. Yep, absolutely. And I've heard that the Security X is pretty hard, by the way, from a close friend of mine. And Ryan says, beyond that, as you approach your 5 to 7 years in the field, you should look into a CISSP and ISC2. This guy's not lying. That's how you do it right there. The CISSP is no joke. It's very difficult, but if you can get that thing, it's a life changer. That certification. I would put that on par. This is just my personal opinion. I don't want to piss people off here, but that CISSP, I was thinking about getting a master's degree. Let me just put it to you this way. I had a bachelor's degree, but after I got that CISSP, I got so many offers and opportunities with that. I was like, I don't really need a master's degree anymore. Um, Not to say you shouldn't get, like, especially if you're a manager or something like upper level manager, then yeah, you should probably get a master's degree. I'm not trying to talk people out of it. Then Ryan says, he says, I'm now a CISSP ISSMP, which is that is a specialization of the CISSP and is arguably the top of my game right now. Absolutely. That's the same. I agree. And it's something my partner is studying for her PhD. It's a mixture of education, certification, on the job experience and industry experience. And it says that industry experience and participation becomes more and more important as you grow older. You need to know the industry, not just your job. Absolutely. Knowing an industry, whatever industry you happen to be in, and I would expand on what he says here is whatever industry you happen to be in. Like, let's say you just been in healthcare industry for a very long time. You know, you started off as a CNA or something, you cross train into being an IT person, and you just kind of stayed with it, and you're in it for like 6-7 years. What happens is your specialization becomes your superpower. I mean, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. That's kind of what's happened. I've ventured off into other industries. I worked for Verizon, and I was a cyber risk professional. Like, we'd go and run assessments on clients. And it was fun, man. I loved it.